Josh and Kurt, are you guys ready over there?
Whenever you are.
Yes, we are.
Okay, let's open the hearing then. Okay. Welcome to the Buncombe County Board of Adjustment. Again, our apologies for having a one member shy here. That doesn't happen very often. We shall try to remedy that. I'm Jim Lesko. I'll be chairing this meeting, and I will ask the members to introduce themselves.
George Lycan, South Asheville.
Jim Guido, Beaver Dam.
Peggy Mann, Limestone.
Lori Camerata, Beaver Dam.
John Yurko, Weaverville.
You all received a copy of the April 11th meeting minutes. Are there any corrections? Hearing none, the minutes will stand as submitted to this meeting. If you're going to testify today, you'll have to be sworn in. So would you please come forward this time and put your hand on the Bible? That's anyone who is going to testify has to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, you may be seated.
If you plan to speak at all, you need to be sworn in.
Yes, please. Put your hand on the Bible, raise your other hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Okay. Now, we should
Try to do it all at once.
Yeah. Whoever plans on speaking, all come up together.
Yeah,
One-stop
I
shop.
thought that was clear.
Could take all day.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, why don't you put your hand on the Bible, left hand probably, is it better?
Yeah.
And then you can put your hand on the shoulder of any person there.
Right. Just electricity. It
This
works.
is the electricity.
Oh, everyone wants to get their hand out. Okay.
I think this is the first meeting I've ever administered this 3 times in a row. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you may be seated. Okay, now we'll go over this once again, just so it's patently clear. There are 7 members on this board, but there are only 6 appearing. And there's a 4/5 rules, so it will require a 4/5 of 7, and that turns out to be 6. So you have to get a unanimous vote to the applicant. You want to go ahead? Yes. All right.
All right, Mr. Chair, the first case that you have before you today is ZPH 2012-00007. Jennifer G. Oversmith of the Magic Attic Preschool has applied for a conditional use permit pursuant to Section 78-677 and 78-678 of the zoning ordinance of Buncombe County to site a half-day preschool on tax lot pin number 9770012762 located between 2366 Riceville Road and 2384 Riceville Road. This is a conditional use because it's located in the R1 zoning district, and day nurseries and private kindergartens are conditional uses in the residential districts. From a staff perspective, to my knowledge, we've received 1 phone call about this, and we directed the individual to meetings that Mrs. Oversmith was having regarding the day nursery in the community.
Just the 1 phone call.
That's to the best of my knowledge.
No letters or anything.
We did receive 2 letters in support of.
The 1 phone call was interrogatory or an extra?
They had concerns about the nature of the development.
All right, anything else from the staff?
That's it at the moment.
Okay, if you would come forward, please, and what is your name?
My name is Jennifer Oversmith.
Okay.
I am the teacher and director of the Magic Attic Preschool, and I propose to build a residential dwelling that will be used as a half-day preschool between the hours of 8:30 and 12:30. There will be a staggered pickup time between 8:30 and 9 o'clock a.m. and a staggered drop-off time between 12 and 12:30 p.m., and there will be a maximum 12 children per day. Just a brief statement of purpose. There is a need for quality, affordable early childhood programs in this area. The benefits of early childhood education to families and communities are irrefutable. I found a great source that summarizes many of these benefits. Would you like me to submit these to you?
If you do, we will keep them.
Okay.
Okay, if you have other copies, that'd be fine.
On my computer. I believe that this small school, with its 4-hour per day, 5-day per week presence, will make a minimum impact on the neighborhood. The staggered pickup and drop-off will reduce the number of cars present at any given time. The U-shaped drive, and you can refer to the site plan that I submitted in the packet, assures proper traffic flow. Also included in your packet is an aerial photo of the property and photos that I've taken looking both directions down Riceville Road. And you can see from the photos and from the map that there's excellent visibility on the stretch of Riceville Road. It's a straight shot. The small number of cars coming to and from this school is in line with traffic volume in the immediate area. And this school will remain at a cap of 12 children per day, which is stated on the application and will be part of my contract with the Board of Adjustment for this permit. This use will be held to newly established lighting standards within the Buncombe County zoning ordinance. And I just wanted to mention that it will be the only house permitted within the immediate surrounding area that has been held to those standards. The appearance of the school will be similar in character to residences in the area. And I also brought some photos of my current school so you can get an idea of the integrity of the exterior and interior spaces. I have a few more that shows the fencing and the character of the house we're in now, which the
And
new
where
house-
is that?
It's in Haw Creek.
Okay.
This is the fence.
Okay, now, we'll keep those.
That's okay.
Okay.
You are presently operating this type of school?
Correct.
12
Correct.
students
12 students.
in a house in Haw Creek?
Correct.
Okay, have you anything else for us?
Just a couple more points.
Okay.
Safety is of the utmost importance. You can see from the site plan that the house will be set back from Riceville Road. The playground area will be entirely enclosed with a 6-foot vinyl privacy fence, and I submitted a brochure of that fence, and you can see in the photo what that looks like. All porches leading to the outside will be gated with child safety locks, so it will be completely secure. There will also be, in addition to the fence, there will be buffering per zoning ordinance with the 2 adjacent rows of evergreen plantings 5 feet high, planted no more than 8 feet apart. And in closing, I would just like to reiterate the need for this type of program in this area. The impact our small school will have on the neighborhood will be minimal, but the positive impact it will have on families and the community in general will be great. And that's all I have.
All right. Any questions or comments for Ms. Oversmith?
Okay, it says preschool and up to 12 kids. In terms of, is there any, since different kids at different ages need different services, what are you focusing on the 4 or 5, or are you
We're a
focusing on
3
the
to
toddler?
5-year-old,
3 to 5.
3 to
Okay.
pre-K
Okay.
program. Yeah, so they turn
Right.
5 as they're finishing our program.
Okay.
You are going to build this facility.
Correct.
You're gonna buy this lot and then put up some type of, it'll be a home,
Correct.
your home.
It will not be my home. I will not be living there. It will be just for this purpose,
That's
just
the
for
thing.
this use.
It's a home-like structure.
It will be a residential dwelling. It will follow all building codes to be a residential dwelling, but it will be used for the preschool.
And no one will be, after the school turns out at 12:30 or whatever, no one will be living there in the afternoon or evening.
Correct, unless I have work to do, but no one will be living there, no.
All right, if you'd like to stand down. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Please come forward.
Chairman Lesko, do you, just before we get into the public comment, do we have some standards that we just want to remind the audience about what is appropriate and what's not appropriate in public comment?
Well, I haven't got the script today, but yes, this is a quasi-judicial hearing, and we deal with facts here.
Okay.
We don't want conjecture or what your opinions are, and we don't deal with things like traffic or things that are out of our purview. We were strictly looking at zoning type issues.
Okay.
So, what did I miss, Kurt?
No, I think basically most of the comments that whatever you're going to make, it's personal, that you observe those type of things, but also remember that issues of property value, traffic concerns, a lot of that stuff has to be substantiated based on expert witnesses and things like that. So we just want to make sure that if you do make a statement, that you do have some factual evidence to back that up in public comment, since it is quasi-judicial. Okay?
Okay, that's a new procedure we've just added, so that we're trying to put that, probably should come at the first part of the meeting, but we're trying to tweak our process and make it better for all concerned. So with that, what is your name, please?
My name is Lynn Freeman, and my husband and I live at 2373 Riceville Road, which is right across the street from the proposed school. Now, I don't know how much of this you want to hear, because it may interfere with what you just said, but it does directly affect something that is Overstreet? I'm sorry, Oversmith said. And that was the safety issue. When I moved into my home 15 years ago, I was told by the homeowner, Diane Laxton, that we should be very careful pulling in and out of the driveway, that we should back into our yard, because there had been wrecks before. In the last year, there has been at least 3 wrecks in front of our home. I've got pictures, as did Mrs. Oversmith, about, I guess they're probably similar, from the front of the property that she's proposing to build on, north and south on Riceville Road. And the problem is that people don't slow down. They're in a hurry to get
Ma'am,
to work.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but if
Yeah.
you're going to be referring to those pictures, you
Can
need
you
to
give me-
submit those onto the record. Thank you.
Certainly. The first picture that I have was damage to the bank across from my house at a wreck in December, I believe it was. This guy turned his truck over in the middle of the road. But in the last year, there's been at least 2 other situations like that one, and people don't slow down. And it's dangerous. We tell everybody that comes to visit us to please turn around in our yard. Don't back out into Riceville Road. Because we've had one situation over a year ago, well, it's probably been 3 or 4 years ago. This lady had a wreck and went into, if it hadn't been for the telephone pole and the tree in the front yard, she would have come into our house. So more traffic, and I understand how she's going to stagger the drop-off and the pickup, but it's just going to make things more congested, and it's dangerous. Now, there's a mile down the road, another school.
We understand the issue, and that's completely out of our purview. We appreciate your concern, and I'm sure Ms. Oversmith does. But I think the Department of Transportation that would be their assessment of whether that's safety or whether there should be other things taken. But that's not within our purview.
Well, in that she brought up safety, I felt like I had
and we've
the
listened to your
right
comment.
to address
Yes.
that. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Please come forward. And what is your name, please?
Neighbors, Larry Ward, I live at 2363 Riceville Road, which is just across the road. Actually, my driveway and part of their driveway is almost going to be directly across the road. The concern I have is when I bought my property there about 22 years ago, it was primarily an open area, residential. There's been several new houses built in the area, but they've all been residential occupied homes. And it's my concern that what will happen with this type of development going in there, it will decrease the value of the property that surrounds that property. And it's going to take away some of the looks of the property as well. Also, I have concerns about the traffic safety. My driveway and their driveway are only going to be a few feet apart, and it's very difficult to get in and out of my driveway without, once you do it, you sort of learn how to watch and what to do to get in and out safely. But if you're coming and going just once a day, or maybe a 6-month period or even less than that, you don't really get familiar with how to deal with the traffic problems right there in that area.
Okay, we understand. Anything else?
That's basically all I have.
All right. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak? Please.
And first of all, let me
You
say,
would give us your name, please?
my name is Catherine Blankenship. And let me say, I have nothing against the education of our children. They deserve everything that we can give them and more as far as their guidance and learning process. I know I have some things in this that you spoke of a while ago, but I'd like to go ahead and read it. If it's something you need to just disregard, that's fine.
Okay. How long is it?
It's not long.
Okay.
How much time do I have?
I don't want to buy into 200 pages here.
My name is Catherine Blankenship. I live at 2366 Riceville Road. My property is just to the extreme right of the proposed preschool. I have lived at this address for 43 years. When we bought this property, it was only a cow pasture. Through the years, I have brought my property to what it is today. I have done this for my own pride, the integrity of my community, and the respect for my neighbors who have lived there for many years as well as I have. I don't want to have to worry about my property depreciation in my declining years. Many will say you don't know that will happen, but the problem is when I do know it for sure, it will be too late. I also have traffic concerns and safety concerns. I have concerns of barriers being put up that will disturb the view and the openness of our community. Hence, no neighborhood watch, which I am very much in favor of. I have concerns of the business aspect coming to our community. I worry about restrictions being imposed on us, if not now, down the road, by having a preschool in our neighborhood. And the list goes on. I could sit here a lot longer. We bought this property and live in a wonderful rural community, and I would like to see it remain that way. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There's another person that wanted to speak. Please come forward.
My name is Jennifer Johnson. I'm actually the current property owner that's in question. I'm in support of it coming to our neighborhood. I have young kids, and I know the need. I mean, they're too old to go there, but I do understand there's a need for quality, affordable child care. I do, however, have one question. If it is approved and it is placed there on down the road, hopefully this wouldn't happen, but if something happened and she did, or the daycare did not continue, at that point, if she had to sell, at that point, is it zoned for that only? Or could another business come in and put a business there because of it?
The answer is someone could open the exact same business
yeah.
as modeled in this approved plan, but any deviation of that would not be permitted without either going through the correct zoning process. So
I just wanted to make sure if it's not going to be zoned as just commercial or, whatever you wanted to use it as, and then another business comes in and it's an auto mechanic shop or something, I just.
Let me just make it abundantly clear that the zoning district here is a residential district, and that basically this is a small exception in terms of getting a condition for only daycares. So it's not like someone can come in and put a convenience mart, or someone can put an insurance business or anything else like that on this parcel of property. It basically is, this is a small, since the daycare is residential-like in nature, that's why under certain conditions it may be allowed.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's locked down pretty tight.
Okay, thank you. That's my only concern.
I am Mary Jo Eskrid, and I am a real estate agent. And I do represent the buyer in this particular transaction. I do want to point out the facts to the neighbors that a person could actually buy this property under current zoning without coming to this board and have, in my research, have a family care facility, have vacation rentals, have other permitted uses that, in my professional opinion, would be more of a detriment to the neighbors and the values of their property than this particular use. This use, in my experience with having other neighborhoods with community activities and bringing communities together, that this daycare, and I've already seen the daycare that she already has, it's an extremely well-run, it's a great facility, and I think it will be an asset to the neighborhood. Thank you.
Ma'am, what was your last name?
Eskrit,
Can you spell that?
E-S-K-R-I-T-T.
All right, is there anyone else who would like to speak? All right, at this time, I'm going to close the public hearing. Comments? Questions?
I think that, I do respect the statements, but I think that every single two-lane road in this county has an element.
Mr. Lycan, can you speak in the microphone?
Speaking to them, yeah.
I do respect the statements of the participants, but I do think it meets, I'm in favor of approving this, but the aspect of roads there, I believe that every single two-lane road in our county has an element of danger, and you see it every day. And I do want the crowd to know that DOT looks at, that's part of the flow. As anything like this goes through DOT, and they have a guideline of review, and it gets attention of the type that everyone spoke to.
Yeah, the other objection seems to be changing the character of the neighborhood. And I personally, looking at this 4 hours a day, 12 children maximum in a pretty much an enclosed area, does not seem to be a drastic change of the character of the neighborhood.
Right. Any other comment?
I think what Jim just said is true. I think new development tends to elevate property values, and the fact that there's landscaping proposed around the fence, which would help obscure that from the street, I think it helps, as well as around the staff parking area and in front of the building. I think that's a positive move towards addressing neighbors' concerns. So I mean, within the guidelines of our ordinance, I think this is an approvable project, and in fact, a I think goes beyond the minimum requirements in some of the design elements here, and so I'm in favor. I'm in favor of this.
All right. To those of you who have testified, is the information you have provided the board true and accurate to the best of your knowledge and belief? Please affirm that by saying your hand, raising your right hand. All right. Fine. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the findings of fact.
Mr. Chairman, I move that this board adopt the following findings of fact. Mr. Chair, based upon the evidence presented to this board, including the following exhibits: the petitioner's application, the submitted development plans, the GIS maps, the finding of fact worksheet, and other documents submitted.
Could we just specify that there were pictures submitted by the applicant?
Yes, the pictures and the text descriptions of the benefits and other textual.
From the applicant, and then I think Ms. Freeman
That's right.
submitted some
From both
pictures.
the applicant and the other common.
And then pictures by Ms. Freeman.
Was Ms. Freeman, was that the right name?
Ms. Freeman says she did the road, yeah.
And the items, the following findings of fact are 1 through 5. 6A, this application does meet the requirements for granting a conditional use permit for a daycare for the following reasons, A through L.
All right, there's been a motion to adopt the findings of fact. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Let the minutes show that all 6 members voted aye. Okay. Now I need a motion to approve or deny the application.
I move that we approve the application.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the application. Any further discussion?
Based upon the foregoing findings of fact and for the reasons set forth therein, I move that the requested conditional use permit be approved.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Let the minutes show there was unanimous approval. All 6 members. Okay. Go and build your center. Okay, is there any further business before us? I will call adjournment at 12:33.
For anybody that spoke, does anybody want us to email you a copy of the order? That they, I just wanted to be sure that we have it somewhere on a copy. Okay? I'll take that, right? So we're gonna do over the applicant, what we can.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I give you a copy a little off guard.
No, we just
I see that.
They-